In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the rear brakes on your G35 Infiniti. Remove the 5 lug nuts using a 21mm socket. Remove the wheel. Using a 14mm, remove the caliper bolts. Remove the caliper bracket bolts using a 19mm. I'm going to pull the bracket up just slightly. Then we're going to remove this bolt. You should not have to do this on yours. This pin was kind of corroded in there. Once that pin is out, we're going to separate the caliper from the bracket. Like this. We're going to hang that up out of the way and then take the bracket off of the car. I'm going to remove the dust cap. We're going to put this hole in the top position, and inside you'll see a little star wheel. Take a flathead screwdriver and turn that down to loosen the shoes. We're just going to move it a few turns. Make sure everything moves freely. Since our rotor is really stuck on there, I'm going to put 1 lug nut on and then use a hammer and hit the back of the rotor. If you're replacing the rotor, it's okay to do this with a metal hammer. If you're reusing the rotor, you're going to want to use a soft-faced hammer. Remove the lug nut and then remove your rotor. Using a wire brush or wheel, clean here in the face of the hub. I'm going to put the rotor on backwards. Spray a bit of brake parts cleaner and wipe it with a clean rag just to get the coating off of the rotor. Flip it around, do the same thing on the front. I'm going to put 1 lug nut to hold the rotor while I'm reassembling the brakes. Using a piston compressor or a large set of pliers, push the piston back into place. Before we put the bracket and caliper back on, we're going to push the rotor all the way against the hub and spin. And then we're going to adjust our shoes, pushing them in the up direction to tighten them. And we're going to do this until we feel the shoes just lightly contact the inside of the rotor. Install the dust cap. Take the old pads out of the bracket. Using a flat blade screwdriver, remove the old shims. Using a wire wheel, we're going to clean up inside of the channels on both sides. We're going to put a little bit of brake lube inside of the channels, just a tiny skim coating. Install the shims. Since this pin is pretty rusty, I'm going to clean it off with a wire wheel. I'm going to do the same on this one. You could also take these boots out and run a little wire brush through here to clean up the inside. This is what they look like after they're cleaned up. I'll take a little bit of parts lube, take a bit of brake parts lube, put a skim coating on there, and then reinstall it into the bracket. I want to make sure it moves nice and freely. Do the same on the other one. Put the bracket back into place, and we're going to start by only installing the top bolt. Get the top bolt started, then we're going to put our pads into the shims. Grab the caliper, pull your slide pins out. Then we're going to rotate the bracket up and install the slide pin, and then install the top one. Then we'll put our bottom bracket bolt in. Snug down the bracket bolts. Snug down the caliper bolts. Torque the bracket bolts to 53 to 71 foot-pounds. Torque your caliper bolts anywhere from 28 to 36 foot-pounds. Remove the lug nut that was holding the rotor. Install the wheel and install your 5 lug nuts. Snug them down. Put the vehicle on the ground, torque your wheels to 80 foot-pounds in a star pattern.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.